Hello everyone, welcome to Decode ITES. This is a single learning platform for multiple IT infrastructure technologies. Do like, share and subscribe our channel to never miss out our videos. Let's continue with the learning. Let's have a small introduction of myself. My name is Prince Garg. I'm having 3+ years of work experience and worked on Red Hat, VMware, Windows, Google Cloud, PowerShell, Python and Bash scripting. Kindly follow us on Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and reach out to us on itesfund.com. In this video, we will start working with the bash shell. Let's start with some theory. Bash has several features that makes the command line usage easier and more effective for us. We do not have to always type the whole command line character by characters. When we are typing the command, we can go backwards and forward by using the leftwards and rightwards arrow key. We can delete the character left to the cursor with the backspace key. Pressing Ctrl-d or delete key deletes the characters under the cursor. In addition to these basic command line editing functions, we can use the keyboard commands as well. Let's discuss some more from the theory part. In Bash, the executed commands are stored to user's home directory into a hidden file called as bash_history. You can list this file using ls-a command. -a is the option to list the hidden files and folders. To see the full list of recently executed commands, give command history. In the command line, we can browse the list of previous commands with the upwards arrow key and the downward arrow key. In cases where we need to give similar commands several times, it is often handy to get one of the previous commands to the command line with arrow key. Then we can just edit the modifications needed to the old command and execute the modified command by pressing return key. Yes, it's possible to search out through the command history. We can use Ctrl+R, then type what we want to search for. We do not need to type a complete search, and the search results will update with each character passed. To move between the search results, use upward arrow key and downwards arrow key. To run the same command, pressing the return key. If you wish to edit the search result before running the command, use the leftward arrow key and then edit the command and hit return key. Now, Bash is a default shell and provides several useful features. Some of them were like tab command completion, history command, piping, redirection, environment variables, and aliases. What does this mean? Tab command completions means you do not need to type entire command by your own. You just type the beginning of the command and then hit enter. It will list all the available commands. Also, if there are multiple results available, you need to press tab 2 times and then it will list all the available commands and you can work accordingly. History command we have already discussed. The piping. Piping is like a very interesting thing where you can use output of a command as the input of another command. Now redirection. Redirection is like you are passing the output of a single command to some file. We can also pass the errors to the file so that you will not see any errors over the command. Environment variables are a very useful thing. It's just the environment on you are working with. Like you can change the environment variable. We can take an example of language. You can change the language and it will reflect to your environment. Last one is aliases. Aliases is just like you are using history command. It's also an alias. The actual command or the script, we can say it's lying under somewhere around the environment. We can create an alias like h and when we hit enter by just typing h, it will list out all the previously ran commands. We will discuss this and I will show you a complete practical overview of it. Shortcuts for editing command line. You can use Ctrl-A to move the cursor to the beginning of the command. We can use Ctrl-E to move the cursor to the end of the command line. Ctrl-K helps in cutting all the characters rightwards from the cursor. Ctrl+Y is used to paste the characters cut with the Ctrl-K to the command line. Now let's start with the practical overview. I will help you understanding all the commands. We'll run this in the live environment. So let's start with the bash shell features which we are getting. First one is tab command completion. You just have to type in the beginning of the command and hit tab and it will gonna complete it for you. Like USE. When I press tab, it's automatically getting converted to user command. Let's try some more examples. Sys. After hitting tab, it's not showing anything because there are multiple entries of the command available which is beginning with sys. Let's double hit the tab. Now you can see it's showing a list of all the commands available by sys. So as we have seen, tab completion feature is a very useful feature if you are having very long commands like system -socket, or we can say. So as we have seen, this is a very useful feature of bash shell. If we are having a long set of commands, then it's very useful. Like we can say system hyphen. You can list any of the commands and then systemd. And it's showing a machine. You don't have to remember each and every command. You can just use tab and run the useful command for you. You can just hit the tab and run the required command. Now, let's continue with the second feature. It's history. It will show you a list of all the commands you have done in past. Like it's showing 110 commands. You can use the output by multiple ways. Like the one way we can say on the 105th line, we can see IPA command was there. And I just have to enter exclamation and the command number. It will run the same command for me again. Let's see another way of using this output, but this is very dangerous way. So you have to be sure that you are running the exact command which you want to run, like exclamation and clear. Under the clear, you can see CL is mentioned. If I hit enter, then it will gonna clear up all the commands. So what this exclamation CL does is it ran the command that it starts with CL. Now the next useful feature is piping. What is piping? Piping is just like you are using the output of one command as the input of another second command. Let's say PS space AUX. Here PS is showing processes and AUX is showing O processes. When I run this, you can see a lot of entries over here and you can't read them at once. Let us use pipe. And here I have mentioned less. It will show you the output and will stop after first screen only. Like it will not list all the entries. It will show the entries which will be limited to your first screen. And then if I press space or hit space bar, then it will take me forward. You can see it converted this data to the pages and showing me page by page. Now after the end, it will show you that the command is completed and here's the end. Let me clear the screen very quickly. Another way of using pipe, like another example is PS, AUX, and then WC. WC is the word count. It's showing you the word count of the command. Now let's continue with another feature of bash shell. It's redirection. So redirection allows you to send out the output generated by the command or the error generated by a command to somewhere else, like to the files. Let's see. Here you can see now after entering the ls command, you can see here is only one file available, anaconda-case.config file. Let's try something ls. Then there is a redirection operator we can say, and we're gonna create a file like ls files. You can see there is no output available now. It's just because we have routed the output to a file. You can see ls files is a file which is created over here. Under ls files, you can see the output of ls command is written to this file. Let's try some more example. Who am I? What if I route this to the same file? You can see it's showing the username like who am I output. You need to realize that it's gonna overwritten. You can use append if you want to save multiple outputs to a single file, like the way I'm doing over here. Now, you can see that under the ls files, the username is saved and then the ls commands output is saved. We can also route the errors of a command to a file. Like we can say, now if I don't want to see any errors, I can route it to another file. Like it's routed to a errors file. And whatever we want to see the output of the command which is valid, and all the non-valid or the errors of the command will go to somewhere else. Then we can use ls star, which is something available on the environment and something which is not. And now I can route it to dev null. Now you can see the errors have gone to the dev null file. It is very useful if you are working on some automations on the production environment and you want a clean output to present. Environment variables are just a working environment you are on with your Linux server. You can list all the available or configured environment variables under the machine by using command env. Here you can see here's an environment variable available lang, and it's configured to some fr.fr.utf. Let's correct this. Now this will gonna convert the language of the machine. If I want to correct this to English, I can just use, now it's converted to English again. By changing this, you can change the behavior of your bash shell, like the environment on which you are working with. There's a lot of environment variable which is configured. As you can see, the username, the password directory, and the journal streams, the shell you are using, everything is configured. You can change it according to your use. Now the next most important feature is aliases. This is a command you defined, or like you have created a set of commands and saved it to a script, and after that you can create an alias by which you just have to hit that single ls command and it will gonna run the whole script from the desired path. Like you can say alias, it will gonna list all the aliases available. Like the cp command is actually cp space hyphen I. The ll command, ls command, move command, remove command, which command, all are listed over here. We can create our own alias. Like we can say alias h is equal to history. Now if I hit h only, it will gonna run the history command. How we can use this with the scripts? Let me create a file. This is the VI editor. We will gonna read this in our coming lessons. Let me enter some more commands over here. And let us list the IP info as well. Now we will create an alias of the saved file. We're gonna create a name like root, or we can say prince. You can use any letter, any word for the aliases. That's all for today's lesson. We'll continue learning Linux in our coming lessons. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and comment our videos. Also subscribe to our channel.